My name's Ryan Glauser. This is my 530 John Deere. My great-grandfather bought this brand new in 1958. And my grandfather bought it when he started farming. Then I bought it from my grandfather, probably about early 2000s. Kind of the tractor I grew up on. He'd be running the bigger tractor when he'd be doing the tillage, and I'd be disking behind him, trying to get everything leveled out so we could plant into it. I always sat on the fender, so I'd watch my grandfather do what he was doing, and then you kind of learn by watching, and then when you had your chance to go, he kind of rode on the fender and let you do it, and then he would jump off while moving, which I do not recommend, but you always had to be ready for a trip or a fall. But yeah, you're definitely nervous doing it, and you hope you didn't mess anything up because he's trusted. I mean, I just remember being out in the field disking while my grandfather was plowing, and he had the chisel plow behind the other tractor. He'd be going along, and it was always good to be in a field with him. He'd start out, he'd be a little bit ahead of me, and by the end of the day, we'd be kind of catching up to each other, but we stayed out of each other's way. But it was always, the fields were always richer with him in it. And that's one thing I miss, him not being around anymore. My grandfather's name was Ray Bergert, and he passed away a couple years ago, but he'd always come over and visit. He wanted to help out, but you had to kind of watch him and let him help the best he could towards the end, but it was always a good time when he was around. I think when I was 8 years old, he left me out in the smaller tractor, which was a 420, and I was too short. We had a little drag disc, and that was a foot clutch, not a hand clutch. So it plugged up on me, and I had to reach back to reset it, and I had to hold the foot clutch down, and I was too short to do one and the other, so I just left it sit in the field, and when he came home, he helped me fix it. But yeah, 8 years old was the first time I was running solo by myself. Years ago, I was thinking about upgrading a certain piece of equipment, and my wife said, well, which tractor would you get rid of if you get a new one? Because it definitely costs a lot of money to maintain tractors and keep them field worthy. But once you sell a piece of family history, you don't ever get it back. There's definitely smoother rides out there, but I still enjoy being out in the open station, and cabs are great, but it's nice to be able to hear things.